Greetings, everyone. My name is Louita, also known as Heart and Solutions Coaching. I'm here with
rawsheed,
also known as Chief.
my love.
We're here to share our thoughts and our mind and our hearts with all of you viewers. And one of the topics that we were going to discuss is how to bring it home to your center, to your self-love, self-care, and oneness with all. So we're just gonna have an open discussion, I guess, and we have an interviewer in the background.
Big
He's
A
gonna
to
ask
Z.
us questions, and his name is
Big A to Z. You already know what's going on. It's A to Z Productions.
Yeah.
All right. So, first question of the day: how do you become one in your perspective?
Who?
Either
Okay.
one.
Well, I don't think there's a real path to oneness that one can say, you have to take this. I think that's the first step. Because what works for me may not work for you. And everyone has to figure that out themselves. That's the whole purpose of getting in alignment with who you are and what is right for you. So I think the first step, if I could say a step, is finding out what you need and want. Getting clear about who you are. What do you think?
Well, the path of oneness definitely starts with oneself. And in that path of that oneness, it's the individual taking the time to acknowledge who and what they are, where they want to go, and clearing out any past demons, shall I say, along the way, and stepping into complete heart vibration of yourself and deeply loving yourself in every step of the way will lead you to that, and it'll self-answer itself along the way.
Well, how does that translate into reality? Because it sounds all beautiful, but for me in my journey, there's been a lot of pain and suffering. So to stay in that place, is that some people say you have to walk into the pain to feel yourself again, because a lot of us go out of our body and we run away and we hide from life's struggles.
Don't you think that pain and suffering is a choice?
Ultimately, via your thoughts, but I think that there's people that do things to you, and yes, you do choose to make that important than your wellness. But we're not taught these skills and tools to process through. I mean, this is why, I'm a coach, he's a coach. We're all just learning from each other. The whole world is a coach, actually. The whole world is a coach. We're all learning from each other on what we need and what we feel and how to process all of that. And too many times people are repressed from feeling, and they become angry. And they create more damage. So I would say sometimes you gotta let it out. Sometimes you gotta express it. Sometimes you gotta go out into the wilderness and scream, because you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. So yes, I would agree.
I would like to express it from the place of what I would call the rebirth path. In the rebirth path, the most beautiful thing that one can do for their self is several different things. Take their self into a ceremonial sweat lodge where they're crawling back into the womb of mother. And inside of that, what happens is that you're back in that beginning. You're now a baby seed being reborn. And what happened is you have the opportunity to release, reset, create new parents, create new relations, create a new name, create a new path. And when you enter out of that womb and you crawl out, here becomes the beginning of life. Now, as you leave that part of the womb and you go into the next journey and say, how can I detoxify the other emotions that's going on inside of my body? Well, what I found is the most powerful thing that can transfer the mindset in the body is taking yourself at least on a 7 to 10 day water fast and just connecting with the water spirit. So every element in life, may it be fire, may it be water, may it be the wind, may it be nature. When we take ourselves into a relationship in those spirit forms begin to help us process and progress and change patterns. I would sometimes tell a friend or another, a beautiful thing is, let's say you have a basil and you put the basil in the water. When you put the basil into the water, you drink that water and basil for 1 month. In 1 month's time, you'll know the full relationship in the marriage of the basil, changing the energy and the frequency, because now you are in tune with the environment that the basil has been a part of. So what that means is if we environmentally connect each other on all portals and relax and in tune ourselves, we can vibe and rise to the oneness and that love union along the way in the rebirth.
So how would you do that as far as healing with others? Because I know that you can do it with plants because you're ingesting that you are one, and our DNA can read their DNA by taking it in our system. So how does that work? Because I know people are soul connected, so how do you merge that same concept with, or idea, I won't say concept, idea, that even though the person is outside of your body, you're soul connected and that healing needs to take place? Do you just sit back and allow, like he said, like you're making a choice to feel the pain body of that person? Do you just observe? Is that like taking the water in by just being still?
Being still, yes.
Yeah.
Being still. Every step of the way, you always hear a sound that's coming to the mindset of, at this moment in this time, you just need to take a step to be still, receive, and let unfold, and let release through the pores, and let your new beginning begin. And the process starts, and you'll feel it. You'll go through some changes and some shifts along the way, but there's nothing stopping the healing process or the rebuilding process to create the type of relationships that we want to have on the foundation of this planet that have gave us an offer to be here.
Mm-hmm. What is a good way to not receive negativity?
Not receiving.
But what is a tool, a technique?
Well, I would say one technique would be, I hear you, but I'm not receiving. Or one technique is, as someone is coming or energy is coming one day, you give with kindness, you do with kindness. The power of kindness and eternal peace of being still is way more powerful than you can ever imagine for anything that is coming in a threatening way, that is coming in a way of wanting to harm or creating things. The true power is in the eternal peace.
Softness.
Yes.
So being soft is our natural state. We've just learned to be agitated and angry and repressed and reactive.
Right.
Yeah.
The earth, I'll say this, the earth, she only responds to certain things at certain time. But overall, she holds peace. And that's how we're able to be here as a collective and as people. But if she was over agitated and we didn't show some type of vibration, it's easy to say immortality, So
tsunamis and earthquakes.
So we just have to recognize, that we are not the caretakers. We're the caregivers. We're we're givers. And we're here not to take, but to give. So you always hear the word, okay, we're caretakers of the earth. No.
Pause real quick.
We need to start are caretakers.
Okay.
So, continue.
So we are not caretakers.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to care. Because we can't take none of the taking with us. So sometimes words have to be reborn. I like to share sometimes, we've been receiving things a certain way. So a birthday, a beautiful birthday. I'd rather call my mom up and say happy birthday to her.
Because she gave birth.
She gave birth. And I'm honored that I am here as an Earth Day,
It's your Earth Day.
So now there's a double celebration in honor of life.
So send your mom a thank you. What is known as your birthday is actually her birthday. It's actually your Earth Day, because that's the day you came to grace the earth with your presence, right?
Oh.
So yeah, I see that what you're saying, and what came to me while you were speaking was we don't own anything. We don't even really own our feelings half the time, because it's usually a download of what TV said, what your aunt said, what your cousin said, what you thought you were supposed to be, what the media says. And really, when you sit with yourself, like Chief said, to do a fast, to do a meditation, to write down, journal, to really go into your inward, most people find that there's nothing but beautiful, positive flow coming through. And that is oneness. That's our trueness when we're in balance and in alignment. We just get the mystery school. We get the information. We get the affirming words from Creator that we are on the right path. We are okay. We are in alignment. Everything's going to work out. And that this is all an illusion. Like, we don't own these properties. We don't own real estate. We don't even really own the clothes. I mean, at some point they're going to get torn or taken away or not fit anymore. We don't own anything. The only thing we can actually say we own is our soul and our body. And even still, we can't decide when that is over either. So we don't even really own that. We just are the managers.
Who gave you your soul?
The Creator.
Which means it's not yours. He breathed life into you.
But
so in all essence, your life is his. You're given a choice, which makes every choice is the only thing you have power of. That's it. Your choices, that's it. The one thing you're in control of, the one thing you own, and the only thing is your choices.
Exactly, but the choice is, I give you this body and this spirit. You do as you will.
No, you make a choice.
I have something to throw on the choices. No matter if we're light workers, no matter if we're embraced with the indigo spirit, no matter if you're leaders, whatever it is, what we always will remember that's very important is that we're not perfect, but we are always trying to do the best that we can to show up. And as parents, we try to do the best we can. And I hope to put out in the world and to the masses and to family and all of that, we do the best we can. We try to do the best we can. We're learning every day. And no matter what, we know that as we go on our journeys along the way, that we love, compassion, and joy, that our family and our friends continue to process in their own journey, but know that we're not perfect, but we're working to rise in our perfectness by making the best choices along the way, learning.
And you can, mostly you can fix a lot of the choices you made, even if they were bad choices. You usually get a chance to recover and to redo. And isn't that like perfection? You know what I mean? Because there's no unless you're not here anymore. But then some people say you go to another spirit, so, and you're still there too. So I feel like there's no, I think we should just stop judging each other. That's what I think creates less problems, is judgment.
Because we're all making choices.
I don't think anyone should expect to be able to fix something that was done wrong, but be able to make the future better. That's the only, because you can never go back into the past. You can regret, but then that just makes what did wrong even more relevant because you regret it.
It keeps it alive, and it keeps it in your pain body,
Right.
and it keeps it present. And yes, release.
I hope,
Release and let go.
truly.
So if you guys have any comments and you want to know more about Chief Rashid or Heart and Solutions Coaching, you can look at the link below and ask us questions. If you have comments, we will definitely come check once this is posted. And we wish you many, many prosperous choices and blessed choices in your journey. And that's all that we can do.
And you have 4 minutes left to tell the world a message. What would it be?
Ready? Are you ready for the song?
Hmm?
No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna go Happy Birthday to you. No, I would say just be gentle with yourself. That's it. Gentle with you. Because no one's perfect. I have not met one. Not one. So, gentle. Gentle with yourself. That's the best thing. That's the greatest advice I could give to anyone, because you're always discovering new ways. Your skin doesn't stay the same. Your hair doesn't stay the same. We're in constant regeneration. Nothing stays the same. So just be gentle with yourself.
And adding on to being gentle with oneself is taking the time to get out in nature, do a nice hike, and just really pay attention to the action of the trees. Look down and look at the little crawling creatures and just kind of just get really into life, and go to near the ocean and go to the sand and take your shoes off and feel your feet in the sand and in the water. Then when you get somewhere around the earth, take your shoes off and touch the mother. Recognize the vibration and this opportunity that you have, because as long as we're in a spirit of being separated, we'll never recognize the true divine purpose why we're really here. We're one family under one sun and one rising moon, and it's truly up to us to keep rising together so we can get to that divineness that's been waiting for us. Oh, Shunbi Shitimukala relations.
So thank you again, and join in for more episodes and interviews and cooking shows and love shows and adventures. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Last message from your cameraman. Everything on this earth does have a soul, regardless of what you may think it is. Just the person who took the time to create whatever item it is, put their soul into it, which makes it have its own soul, artificial or not. Humans have the power to put enough spirit energy into something to make it alive. And another thing with the renewal of yourself, I'd say kill your old self, because your new self is that much better. And if you ever think about your old self, it may mess up your journey to your new self. So completely discard that old skin, shed it, I should say. And, like you say, be good to each other.